I'm Tim Schwartz. I'm the founder and CEO of Sherlock. We're building the simplest way for families to navigate life after 60. So Levy solves really three problems as you're building a company. The first is, a founders, you don't know what you have to do. You don't know what software you have to set up. You don't know what vendors you should choose for that. And so the first is they eliminate the pain of, what do I need to actually run the whole back office of my company? And they bring proven best practices across a whole portfolio of startups. The second is, as you're then scaling your company, you have all of these things that pop up that you've never had to deal with before. And so what Levy does is they give you an expert that, one, has already solved those problems before or has the knowledge to solve those problems before, and they just handle it. The third is they help you streamline your processes. So as you're scaling, they can see things that you're doing that aren't as efficient as other clients or aren't as efficient as their playbook. So they evolve with you and continually bring best practices to your company, whether you're 2 people and just formed or 30 people and are in hypergrowth. When I founded companies before Levy existed, I had to go find an office manager, train them on all of these different tasks, QA those tasks, do the research myself or with them on all of these different things. I mean, for the first couple of years of your company as a founder, you want to spend as much time, energy, and effort talking with customers, selling customers, building product. Like, that is what needs to solely occupy your time. And there's all of these things that you need to legally take care of that are incredibly confusing and time consuming. And Levy takes this huge chunk of things that are not as high value for you building your product, but are really high value for you building your company, and handles them the right way from the start with minimal effort from you as a founder. I would say Levy on average saves me about 5 hours a week. If you were to average out everything that they're handling, it spikes from one week to the next. And I think that's, obviously an incredible amount of time in a week. But the other thing is just like, it saves you so much of the stress and the background energy. So I don't have to think about it. I just say, okay, it's in this bucket. Levy's going to handle it. We're good to go. So for founders, particularly first-time founders, back office work always continues. It never goes away. You're constantly having to deal with payroll, vendors, payments, taxes, accounting, finding people to help, managing these things that pop up that often end up meeting spending multiple hours on hold with some state agency or some company. And so if I were starting another company, I tell every founder I talk to use Levy, because it just takes away that time, that there's so many better things that you could be spending on it that are really critical drivers that only you can do to drive the success of your company. When you mentioned Levy disappearing, I feel like a tightness in my chest of like fear. I would have to do all these things myself, then go find some like part-time office manager or admin that I have to uptrain. And it would be a nightmare, a incredible amount of time and energy, versus just having Levy handle it all. I've had an incredible experience with multiple Levy operations partners. They really do, and I can say this, I've had the full-time person on my team managing these things. They feel like an extension of your team. Levy's got an incredible process for hiring and training these partners. It really does feel like you have this person who is dedicated to the success of your company, like there's someone that's full-time, but with all of the training, hiring, skill sets, and tools already taken care of because they're coming from Levy. I think regardless of what type of startup you are, you should use Levy. Whether you're making drugs, building a new insurance company, building another SaaS tool, like the things that they solve are the same across every single company. You still have all the same legal, financial obligations and work streams that you need to take care of as a company, regardless of what industry you're in, and Levy solves those.